go. Talk. All right, ladies, we're back. It's the Ride Along Ladies Night. We've had some more ladies come through. Kima J, what's up, Kima J?
Hey y'all, you already know it's your girl Kima J. I'm super excited to be here with you. Thank you for inviting me.
I miss you, Kim.
I do two hearts if you guys can see hearts.
Okay, love you. Love it. And you got a friend.
Yes, this is my friend Asia, also the owner of Supreme Harmony.
Yes.
Yes, Asia has a lot going on.
I hear like liquor and I hear ice. Brittany. Brittany's like, sure, I'm at the bar. What are you talking about? We're having drinks, damn it.
It's ladies' night.
It is ladies' night.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be ladies in and out. So we got priestess L.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah.
And what's better than a ladies' night without having a little bit of a psychic action,
I
right?
love it. So we have a psychic healer,
Yeah.
life coach. She does a lot. From what you
Yeah.
were telling us, you're extremely busy. So we'll start with
Okay.
the psychic healer life coach. So are you just basic? I don't want to say basic. I don't want to downplay what you do. But do you do like, the tarot cards and
I don't need
read the
that.
horoscope? Oh, she
No.
don't need that.
No.
I'm more nervous now.
No. You know what? It's just connecting to the person's soul and kind of
Okay.
letting the person know what they need to hear for their highest and best. So it's helping people feel good and enjoy life.
Okay.
Because you can get caught up in all the things that don't matter. And it's kind of like somebody like me, I do, it's called quantum healing, where I kind of go in there, show you your blocks and say, oh God, that's why I was doing that over and over. Normally it has to do with stuff when you grew up and you're still holding on to some issues. So what I do with the quantum healing is as you're in a relaxed place, you go to an age that you need to hit. And you see life from another perspective and you realize, you understand why the adults or people acted a certain way. So you're able to heal that piece of you so you're not reliving that drama. So it's that's a part of what I do as well as connecting to people and doing classes and programs. The latest thing I've spent the last year and a half was finishing 2 films.
Okay.
One's almost finished, one more shot left. If you go to Amazon Prime, you can catch Streets. So that's like a $TREETZ, and I play a mob wife, Adriana. Yeah. And I have 2 catering halls, and I do a lot. I keep busy.
Sounds like it.
Yeah. Well,
So
life's
what-
got to be fun, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
So what vibe are you getting here for ladies' night?
I want to know,
do
do
you
what
see
it is?
dead people?
Don't do
What did she say?
Really? You're just gonna bring them through here,
Yes.
right? Ask them.
We don't want those
No, why not? They can stay where they are.
They can party. Because even if they're here, I don't want to see it.
Don't tell me.
No, the vibration here is too high for lower energy to come in.
I like to hear that.
Yes, that's what we want
It's
to
on
hear.
fire. I've been on a lot of radio shows and I've done a lot of different things, but what's so nice is you guys are so relaxed, so in the moment, so just drinking in it all. It's so beautiful.
You hear that,
It really
Brittany?
is.
Drinking in.
Yeah, Brittany.
Oh yes, we are drinking
Brittany's
in.
like, what?
I'm not the only one.
Or in Brittany's case, like,
don't
don't put me on French Street.
Don't video.
But earlier today, we were talking about business and we talking about different things. And I was mentioning a little bit about numerology. 2019, if you add up the 2 and the 1 and the 9, it's 12, which adds up to 3, which is a year of really manifesting what your heart's desires. I think in the other years we're identifying our shit, but we're not really moving past it. This is the year to own your reality, to really become in tune with what makes you happy. So I think a lot of people going through all kinds of different feelings, and to realize those feelings aren't because you're screwed up, messed up, or anything else. You're meant to deal with some real stuff, because if it doesn't hurt, you're not going to change.
Right.
You're going to stay right where you are, living the same thing over and over, saying, yeah, someday.
True,
So
true.
the universe is kicking you in the tush and saying, now's the time. So, to celebrating life, and for girls, if you're going through something, it's all for a reason. even the bad parts, because it all teaches you something that you might need to see or
See, I
might
don't
need.
like that part.
Here's
I don't
my
want to
theory.
go through something.
But here's my
No,
theory.
Come on.
No, but that's.
I'm tired of being tough at this point.
Thank you.
But look,
Thank you.
look, here's my theory on adversity. Adversity, there's actually a purpose for adversity. So let's just say your blessing is right over here,
Mhm.
right? But you sitting and chilling right over here. You're not gonna see this blessing because you're not in alignment with it.
Okay.
So- So it's kind of like this. When you're sitting on the couch, right? And you're in a nice, comfortable position, you stay in that position. The minute that that arm gets numb, the minute that that arm kind of gets a little tingly, what are we doing?
Uncomfortable, right.
We're moving. So the minute that we get uncomfortable, we move.
That's the magic.
So the adversity is brought into our lives. First of all, we have to, number one, take accountability. We brought that adversity there. Whether we want to own it or not.
Okay, because I'm not going to own it.
What happened?
But-
Yeah, go ahead.
but-
Go ahead, though.
If you go through it and you push through it and you understand what it's there for, it's now going to push you to where your blessing is and put you in the proper alignment to get that blessing. It's like this. I heard T.D. Jakes say this once, and honestly, it could not have been so on point. You have children, correct?
No.
Oh, well, too bad. No, I'm just kidding.
Not really.
You are absolutely correct on that one.
I'm
You're
good.
absolutely correct.
She was quick with
But-
the
But I'm sure you have nieces or nephews.
Oh,
Or,
tons of them.
right. So you have this child, and let's just say you can afford to buy them, and you wanted to buy them a brand new 2019 Bentley for your 5-year-old niece.
Mm.
Are you going to give that Bentley to that 5-year-old niece?
Hell no.
No. You're going to do what? You're going to wait until that child grows into that gift.
Mm.
So it's the same thing with God, the universe, whatever your
Yeah.
whatever your belief. I'm not here to question or
Right,
challenge
of
anyone's
course.
belief.
Yeah.
But whatever your belief is, it's the same thing. We already have our gifts. Our gifts are sitting on a shelf waiting for us to take them.
Mm.
It's us that is literally preventing it because we're not getting ourselves in proper alignment. And when we're not in proper alignment, that's where the resistance comes. Because the universe wants you to be in proper alignment.
True.
The universe wants to give you these gifts. So they're like, get up and move. Get into that alignment. Go get your gift. So
Question.
adversity to me, that's the purpose of it. Go ahead.
Okay, so I just want to know, like, at exactly what time did you realize, like, you had this gift? Like, did you have to go through certain things yourself in order for you to, like, and did you, like, deal with it better than normal people for you to be like, nah, this is a gift here that I could, like, share with other people? Like, what was the milestone when you realized, like, this is what I need to be sharing with the world?
You know, we all have the ability to tap into all that is. There's not any of us better or different. We all have an incredible, infinite ability. And I think what happened to me was I got into accidents one after another that I should have died, you know? And I went to a neurologist and I had a thing called coccydynia. I fractured my tailbone. So whenever I was always, you touched me like this, I would be like, ow, you know? So I went to doctor, what's wrong with me? Hey, you gotta learn how to live with it. So the only way for me to be able to live with it is getting more and more into spirituality.
Okay.
So it's almost like it's more comfortable for me to be at a higher vibration, because if I hold on to all the stuff, because stuff is everybody else's negativity,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
True.
When you're in a higher vibration, it's kind of like I teach different programs, different classes, and God bless everybody. See life the way they want, what resonates, because when you hear something that feels right, you know it.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
my perspective is there's the essence of all that is, whatever you guys believe at the highest, you know, and then there's us, and you heard something called chakras, right?
Right.
Well,
Yes.
above us, we have something that's called the I am.
Yes.
It's the way you look at life as if you were coming from God's perspective. Because when we come from this perspective, it's all our experiences. This one wasn't nice, and this one, you know, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
But when you see life the way Jesus sees it, or the way God sees it, you look at people and it's like, okay, I get they got issues. All right, it's like
Right.
my issues. And not that you're not validating them, you're just not consuming yourself with them. You know?
Okay.
So it's allowing you to become discernment within yourself without creating judgment. You know, I like to live in unconditional love. in the essence of I treat people the way I want to be treated, you know, and you know, so if people go, why am I always smiling? Because each and every moment special, everybody. I mean, to see you guys are a gorgeous, incredible light that have a beautiful flavor of the way you do things, and it's fun to see you guys are the best. So great.
Thank you. Oh,
So-
you're welcome.
And this kind of like reminds me of a conversation that I've had with my peer, actually right here today. I was speaking to her because we were at work and we were just like, you know, something about us was just like, oh, we don't really like it here, we want to be here. Well, you know, I have my days sometimes, and she has her days, and today was one of her days.
Right.
And I had to tell her, like, listen, you have to like change the way you look at things, and then the things around you change. And then everything that she was like saying, and I was like, well, hey, why don't you just like give him what he wants, because look, that means we gotta work less. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like
Change your mind,
that.
change
You
your life.
just saying that right there just kind of like put even more perspective in what we were personally going through.
Well, that's
earlier
also
today.
the universe now confirming it for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And that's what happens too when things are starting to go into alignment. You'll start seeing signs. You'll start seeing things start
Exactly.
confirming.
Well, one thing I noticed, like, cause I take everybody else's issues on as well as my own, and like literally. the
So
other
you're an
day,
empath.
I was saying I was
Mhm.
overloaded and like overwhelmed,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I have like so much. Cause you can have so much on your plate that you don't even want to do it. Like your
Oh,
plate
yeah.
could be full of, oh, I have this, I have this, I have this, I have this, I have like 10 different things on my plate that have to get done. And it can be so overwhelming that you're like, I don't even want to do any of them. Where you're just like, screw it, I just can't.
I was
I
the
can't
same
even
way.
wrap my head
I was
around
the
it.
same way. I would shut down when I was so
And that's where I
overwhelmed
was at.
and I couldn't understand things. And I will tell you, the minute I learned how to let go,
Well, that's my point. Like my mom, I always tell my mom, like, what she do? She's always like, let go and let God.
Yes.
You know, like that's real. Like
very
you know,
real.
Just put it in God's hands. You know, everybody says that, but for real, that's real because it's oh my God.
Well, do you notice, like,
your
right
anxiety,
now-
you can have so much anxiety over the smallest things, and I get bothered by other people that really not necessarily bother me, but they're in their own like nonsense.
I know.
And you're like, I'm
Yes.
not on that level with them, but
Yeah.
you're bothering me.
because you're on that level. I'm
Because
not
you're
even
on that level.
type
And you're
of
like,
time.
it doesn't even make sense to me.
I'm not even on that type of time.
but instead of
You're
looking,
giving it time.
but instead of
You're
looking
giving
at
them
why
time
that
in your
person
head.
is doing what they're doing, why is it bothering me?
That's the
That's
thing.
what you should
be.
That's what you
That's
should be
right.
really
That's right.
focusing on and trying to
Right, not
figure out.
absorbing your energy. like
Exactly.
That person is
Absorbing
triggering
all
you.
this stuff.
That person is
Yeah.
triggering you for
Mhm.
some reason.
Yeah.
And you know, we focus so much. We're in this society. It's so much the problem, the problem, the problem, the problem.
Mhm.
And the universe is not biased. I was just saying this on the way up here. The universe is not biased. God does not have the word no in His vocabulary. So if you come, a lot of times in our prayer, we're always told, oh, pray on it, pray on it, pray on it. And we'll come to God in prayer and be like, God, please, I gotta make this month's rent, and please, I'm really broke this, month, and I really need to get this money, and please, I beg you, help me. All God's saying is, yes, you are broke, because He doesn't understand. The word no is not part of His vocabulary. You understand? So He's just going to give you more of what you're focused on.
So going to one of the programs that I teach is called Law of Attraction.
Mhm.
And the more that we realize that we create our reality, the more that we realize, in other words, what we say has a vibration, has an energy to it, and if you're putting it out to the universe, you're going to create it. So you got to watch your thoughts, your actions, and your deeds
Yeah,
create what goes on. So do I want to focus on all the things that aren't right and
No.
have a really pooky day, or do I want to focus on what I want to create, how much fun, what's next,
Also
what
to
gives me joy?
control.
It's
we
now to the
focus so
point
much
where-
on control.
Instead of, like people are now like you're unbothered, like you're supposed to be unbothered by things. And now, it's so funny because I really had to get myself out of that headspace because I was making myself kind of physically sick. Like I was raising up my own blood pressure.
Mhm.
And people are, they're unbothered and I'm sitting there bothered by it.
But
So I had to really pull it together, pull myself together. It was causing stomach issues, blood pressure, all that kind
But
of
that's
stuff.
exactly
Because anxiety.
Mhm.
And so now I laugh at, I literally
Force
funny. It is forced, but it works.
It does.
Because
What's
I could
forced?
really lose my shit
a laugh.
with a lot of people, but I laugh at it now. I laugh at the people that are acting like they've lost their freaking minds. And now it has helped 100%. And I literally laugh hard because it's really kind of funny.
Because the brain.
Because you could really
doesn't
lose.
know.
Yeah.
You're not really laughing. Like it just can just.
It's
feel-
like, oh my God.
You said a lot of magical things. And the magical things it says when you're learning the chakras, and this was the I am, the way you see life, your intuitive aspect, your connection to God, your intuitive aspect. But when you get your high heart and your solar plexus is clean, that's your emotional body.
Right.
So when you're caught up in that emotional thing, it affects your
stomach.
digestion.
Yep.
So where you are, it could be a nationality. Jewish people are full of guilt. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Italians, you're killing me. Different people see things in different perspective. That's kind of like they call those emotional ties.
Mhm.
That you want to cut those levers, those cords, so you're not reliving the same story.
Right.
The same DNA, the same. So when I do holistic healing, or you can do it in meditation when you're out of your conscious mind and you're able to see things and appreciate things. And if when I do intuitive healing, I go to that energy spot and your body tells you what's going on. So if you trip and you trip on the left side, there's a guy in your life because the left side's feminine. So you're holding on to maybe some issues that may be surfacing from your mom. The more it's the wild your body.
It's really like
Oh yeah,
Your body.
like that?
Oh
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. You have the present, you have the past, you have the guy, you have the girl. You know, it's so.
Yeah, one side is
People
the
can't see what you're
Okay.
pointing to. So the
What was
front
that
and the
thing
past,
called?
the front and the back.
Yeah,
The guy and the girl on the left.
the more things are simplified, the more you realize life makes sense. You can make things really complicated, but not.
Yeah.
It just
So
comes
true.
down to if it hurts, what's coming up for me, what am I meant to let go of,
Mhm.
and
Again, we were conditioned we are conditioned to think that we're human beings having a spiritual experience, and it's just the opposite. We initially were spiritual beings having a human experience. It's that deep.
It's that deep.
And another thing
Well,
we
we're
say,
getting deep up in here.
and another thing,
Next level. We need more alcohol. We need more drinks. This is getting
and
serious.
another thing that we said, another thing, like, first you form your
Drop the
beliefs
bomb
through your
on it.
family, through your culture,
course,
through
yes.
school. So first you
Where
form
you
your
grow
beliefs,
up.
right?
Yeah.
And then your beliefs form you.
Wow.
if you allow it, unless you realize
Well,
it, then you
but most
shouldn't.
people are
But that's
conditioned.
true.
Most
You're
people
right.
are conditioned
Most
to,
people
you
are
know,
just programmed. They
Yeah.
just go through life. Yeah, that's true.
we don't question things. We said this even earlier. You know, people don't know their rights. People don't do their research.
You don't
People
question anything.
We don't question anything.
You
We're
just walk into your
robots. We
doctor's
really are
office.
robots.
We're like, oh yeah, we're gonna still draw your blood and biopsy. You're like, okay. Like we just people.
Becky
and
comes in the room.
I mean,
Okay.
there's a lot of us that are. There's a lot of us in this room that work in the medical field,
Yes.
work in public service, things like that, and even as nurses, whatever. But we realize, you notice that people don't ask nurses really. They don't ask us anything. Like we ask them more questions than they ask us. When I go to the doctor, I'm wearing them out. And then they automatically like, you're a nurse, or like, what's going on? Because you're asking way too many
Yes.
questions. And people really don't ask enough questions in any part of their life.
And my theory is somebody had to graduate at the bottom of the class. So I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
one of them doctors graduated at the bottom of that class.
I ask too many questions. I ask too many
You know?
questions.
No, you can never ask too many questions. I think you need to take control of your life. But all the answers you need are within you. You can ask everybody else, why this, why that, and you know, energetically, if your heart desires, we can connect and we can kind of tune into where you're feeling and why you're feeling what you're feeling. Because you are an outrageous, incredible, intuitive, exquisite person. And that's why you just
Talking to
love
me?
Yeah.
Like, I was in
Yeah.
general. No, because at first I was thinking she was talking in general, and
That's
then,
what I'm like,
and then I
oh.
started getting like a lot of focus. I'm like, no, she's talking
about
about
me.
But
this.
you see how you feel the energy? It's like when I was talking to you, you can feel it. So it's just connecting to energy.
Kima vibrates. Like she's just like.
She's fabulous.
She's like purpley and.
Yeah.
Purple, this is just see about
Blue,
purple.
purple.
Okay, I
She
like glitter.
vibrates.
Glitter's
That's
my
why
answer.
I just why I love her. She just like. She's always on.
This is super dope, and it's so funny because my friend Asia right here, she's so into like chakras and like things like that. And
So
so,
why
like,
are you not jumping in, girl?
She's from her.
Yeah, she's
I
listening.
I haven't sat in person and listened to someone just speak so much truth, and I'm just like reeling it in, and I'm
Bless
just
your heart.
absorbing it. It's wonderful.
I'm like,
I'm right there with you, girl.
I'm listening. It's
I
like
love
this.
me some Britney right now.
What's getting hot?
Preach on, sister. I'm here.
I'm like,
It's so real.
yeah.
It's real, though.
And the thing is, it's so real. And people, like, we don't even live our lives thinking at that capacity or
No.
at ever almost. Like, you know, like if no one has ever came to you and said anything to you about chakra, you ain't rolling down your Instagram and seen something about it in some way, like people never talk about spirituality.
Not
like
at all.
your well-being, like personal well-being. Nobody
Right.
never really
Right.
Well,
speaks
what
about
we
that.
they have just proven scientifically we operate most of I think it's like 95% of our brain from our subconscious mind.
Yeah, of course.
So if our subconscious mind has been polluted and all this toxicity that we're
Yeah.
not even
Toxic
aware
thoughts.
of
Right.
is
right.
there.
Right.
That's why we have the behaviors we have. That's why we're doing the shit that we're doing.
This is so, May is also, it's
Mental
mental health awareness
Yes,
month.
it is.
And what you just said, because there's certain things like right now, like what you see on TV, and there's so much violence that is really desensitizing us. And there's certain things I just won't allow myself to watch.
My
And there's
girlfriend's
certain-
son,
Like, you see the videos and you see, the violence and the fighting and things like that, or people really getting like really hurt.
look at these school shootings.
And I just won't watch it. I will not allow myself to be desensitized like that. I still want to, some weird, and it sounds weird, I still want to feel
No, you want to
sensitive.
connect to love.
I still want to
You don't want to
feel
see negativity.
sad. Like, I don't want to
Yeah.
just take that in and be like, oh, okay, it's somebody that, was really seriously hurt. And I'm just like, okay, keep scrolling.
Right.
I don't want to see it. I
Yeah.
don't want to take that in. I see enough of it in life, in my job, that I just don't want to just be scrolling through my regular,
Well, they don't even cover it anymore.
no.
Like last week, they had the school shooting in North Carolina. My girlfriend's son went to that college. He was 5 minutes. Waka Flocka was like the artist that was performing, and somebody went in and shot up like the
I heard about that, yeah.
Whatever it
it
was.
Yeah.
two people died, and like 4 people got injured. My girlfriend, she's in North Carolina, frantic, obviously, and they barely even covered it on the news. Because only 2 people died. It wasn't like a 40 people. Like, what? This is where we're at now with
This
this?
is where we are.
And then like 3 days later, I think Colorado got shot.
Again, yeah.
What?
It's too much. That's what I'm saying. Like, you still want to feel some sort of empathy. You want to just go through your day like it. Even though we want to kind of ignore it, which in a way we kind of should, because if we take in everything and all that's going on every day, all day, our mental health would be in a shambles. Like, we would just be a mess. So you have to find a point where you just have to shut it off.
Well, you know what the point is you surround yourself in God's light and you surround them in God's light. You envision, thank you God and the universe for helping heal the families, heal the people, that whatever it is, you put a positive energy on it
Yeah.
and you move forward. You can't get consumed in sadness. You can't.
But then it also helps you to understand why people stay in situations that they, like, take a woman being domestically abused.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
someone who's not in that scenario, why is she there? Just leave. Like, I don't
Right.
understand. But that's her norm.
That's her number.
Right, that's
That
where she's
has
comfortable.
become
That's where she's
her
comfortable.
norm. That's where she's
her-
comfortable.
Right.
That's what she knows.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And she has become desensitized.
Right.
And she's minimized it. She's like, well, it's not really that bad.
It's not that bad. Like, it could be.
I don't
worse
have
or whatever.
bruises on my face.
Right. Right.
He doesn't beat me every day.
This, like I said, is 2019. This is the year to own it. And this is the year to say, okay, I'm not going to put up with the shit in my life anymore, and I'm going to make these positive changes. What do I want to create? I want to create happiness. I want to surround myself with positive people. And what am I going to do to give myself a little bit of love every day?
I love that. Give yourself a little bit of love every day.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's important. That's
Because it
really
goes back to investing in yourself.
Yeah. Which is what we were talking about. You have to invest in
Yes.
yourself.
Yeah,
I think now, like,
self-love.
women nowadays, women are really on the come up when it comes to business.
Oh,
I've met more
yeah.
women just doing their own thing,
Absolutely.
being bosses. They
Because
might have a man in their life, but
Well,
they're
let's
like,
be real. Let's be real though. They've given us
Say
no
it, say it.
choice.
Don't
And
get
it's dope as Fiznicka.
But a lot of women, they didn't have a choice. A man walks away from his family, and that's okay. Not that it's okay, but
Yeah.
like that's just
That's
acceptable.
the norm.
It's
Yeah.
the norm and it's acceptable. A woman, she's got children to take care of. She's got to provide. She's got to make sure the home is correct. She's got to make sure her job is correct.
Right.
She don't have a choice.
No, she don't.
And you just got to pick yourself up by your bootstraps and just keep on keeping on.
There you go. You gotta do what you gotta do. This woman will go into a shelter before she'll go on the street, and she'll
Yeah.
take, especially if she has kids. Like you have to do what you have to do.
There's no harder hustler than a single mom.
Yep.
You posted that the other
I
day.
did.
I'll be following you, friend. I got you.
I
I got you.
I sure did.
I said I think you're a real powerful woman.
I'm loving this ladies' night. I didn't, and I just want to be honest, that, because we were talking about anxiety earlier, like, just getting anxious about things that you really shouldn't get anxious about.
Right.
And I was really worried, like, how this night was going to go. And, I was like, of course, I call my mom. I'm such a mama's girl. I'm like, Mom! She's like, girl, what? Like,
Girl, bye.
like, yeah, you're
I'll
crazy.
come up for ladies'
She's
night.
like,
Shit.
I'll call if I'm like, I don't know who's coming, my girlfriend's, this and that. She's like, well, whoever, just come and just be ladies and do your thing. And, and sometimes I think, because I've had ladies' night before, and they're crazy,
Sometimes they get,
They get crazy.
Get wild,
Crazy.
yeah.
But Elle was even supposed to be with us.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, but sometimes you evolve, and, like, certain things have to happen. And certain things might not have to be on that crazy level.
Right.
Where maybe we might have to have this mature, grown-ass woman conversation and, like, some real talk about.
Because last time.
Where
He
people
was talking
are.
about dildos
Girl,
and
yeah,
ice cream and
windows.
all that.
But
You need to grow up. I'm so damn ratchet. We're all channeling our Cardi B. We're gonna get to that later, though, because we
Listen,
talk
we
But
can-
if
about
we
that.
can get to the point where you were saying you were feeling stressed.
Yeah.
Stress comes from fear. Fear comes from not having faith. So
Sound like my mom. I like that. And she said that. She's like, because everybody, like you said,
it's not fear's
people
not
say
real.
give it to
No, it's not
God,
real.
and just trying to give up to the
That's
Spirit.
it.
And you say it's hard, it's because you don't have faith.
There you
When
go.
she told me that, I was like, don't say it like that. She's like, well, that's the truth. Apparently, you haven't been praying, and you haven't been doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Praying is
So
so
you know what I
beautiful.
You shouldn't be stressed, and you shouldn't be worried.
And if you are stressed, knowing how to get out of that place.
Yeah.
Whether it's just sitting with music or dancing your tush off or meditating.
Breaking
or,
up that energy.
Yeah.
Like, if you're in a place like that and you get up and you just start clapping or you just start dancing, you're breaking up that energy.
That's what I'm saying. I
Shifting
started
it,
bust out
shifting.
laughing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great.
I started doing like affirmations.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah,
I
that's
ams. I am beautiful.
And
Give
I
it to
started.
us.
So what I started doing was, all right.
I love
I
it.
used to be stressed out about work, stressed out about school, and stressed out about my son not doing as well as I wanted him to do in school. Stressed out about like just where my life was at the time and where I had expectations for it to be, my personal life, my business, everything. And the more I thought about it, the more I got like upset.
Right.
So it was actually my boyfriend who was he's actually like really into like affirmations and things like that. So even though I had it around me, I wasn't really practicing it
Right.
or like getting in tune with it. Because to me, what we were just saying, like it's hard to just be like, I believe, boom, that's it. Like it's hard to do that.
So, but- but if you can, baby doll, because everything you're saying is so on point. But instead of saying it is hard, it is getting easier and
Yes.
easier for me
No,
at every moment
absolutely.
to be able to come into the
Also-
I am brilliant.
Absolutely,
I
absolutely.
am
Nothing,
amazing.
nothing.
I was-
What did I say? I say nothing. Everything works for us. Nothing is. Oh gosh, I can't think of it now. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
But
And then I started, so then I started saying to myself, like, all right, you know what?
To us.
I started to listen to an audio called The Magic of Believing.
Okay.
So where it kind of just like instills things in me on ways that I can believe. And people, you tell yourself something so much times till you start to believe it.
Right.
So
Yeah.
me, I'm like, my son is going to the 3rd grade. That's it. There ain't no possiblies, maybes, I hope so.
You know it.
Nothing.
Well, you know what you just
say
did
it,
there,
you
too.
claim it, and that's
Well,
it.
you know
Put
what you
it
just
out there
did.
to
But
you.
you know what you just did there, right? You demanded it